Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for attending the 1st Battalion's observance of the 2023 7th Cavalry Gaming Regiment's Memorial Day. August 21st marks the traditional Memorial Day of the 7th Cavalry Gaming Regiment, and this date was chosen in remembrance of the first fallen member of the 7th Cav, Brigadier General James Crazy Foster. That day is typically considered a furlough day and traditionally hosts a regimental meeting, just as it did this year. As such, we've elected this day, August 27th, as our day of observation, as a battalion. During today's ceremony, it is requested that you remain silent and respectful in honor of our fallen. The first of our speakers today is going to be Lieutenant Colonel Patrick Burton, the Executive Officer of the 1st Battalion. Lieutenant Colonel Burton has over 11 years of experience in the Cav and has known many of the departed enshrined here. I'd like to welcome him to this podium for his remarks. Colonel Burton, sir.
Thank you very much, LT.
I am Lieutenant Colonel Burton. As mentioned, I've been in the Cav for several years now. Did have the pleasure and honor of knowing some of our parted members, most especially Ronnie
Busey, probably one of the most memorable people I ever met. He was kind of like the granddad of the Cav, although if anybody ever called him granddad, he wouldn't be too happy about it. But he did kind of wear the badge with pride too. You know, his door was always open. Didn't matter what rank you were, how new you were. He'd sit there and shoot the breeze with you. Just a truly remarkable man. People like Britton and McGehee that we ended up losing along the way. Truly remarkable people that are they're the kind of people that were the glue of everybody around them, that kept them together and just befriended everybody. And their losses are tragic, but at the same time, they each left, a part of them behind in the Cav, and in continuing that legacy of brotherhood and camaraderie and, our willingness to be there for each other, we only serve to honor their memory, and continuing to do so is for the betterment of everybody. And also just keeping them alive in our own hearts. So that's really all I have. I'm going to keep it pretty short and sweet today.
Thank you, Colonel, for your words of remembrance. At this time, I'm going to invite those of you who volunteered to speak to share your memories or condolences for the fallen. So come forward when called. Our first remembrance will be delivered by Corporal Dixon.
Sweet. Okay. So for Daniel Gracino Long, the journey is now beginning. But for us, there is loss, grief, and pain. Every one of us here has been affected, perhaps in small ways or perhaps in other ways. But he has left behind a legacy which I will never forget. But every one of us has seen the dedication that he brought to us, and we lost a soldier way too soon. But in the end, his life mattered for us all. I first remember when I met you on TACR. You were in the process of enlisting, and you were really eager to be a part of us. And I was lucky enough to be assigned as your drill instructor, and during your briefing and boot camp, I saw a willingness and dedication during this which I haven't seen as much from other recruits. You would always message me and ask if I wanted to hop on TACR, and I had so many fun times doing this. I was really excited to transfer to your squad, but sadly, when I became your ASL, disaster struck and we lost not only a dear friend, but a solid trooper. You were a great friend and a great addition to the cab. We all miss you. Rest in peace, Daniel Gracine alone. You deserve it. And that is all.
Thank you, Corporal, for your kind words. If anyone else would wish to come to the podium and deliver a remark, you are invited at this time. I have only recently marked my first year of service in the Cav, and in that time we've already lost 2 of our brothers. When, as a drill instructor, we speak about brotherhood and talk about the Cav being something bigger than our individual selves, and nowhere do we really show this brotherhood quite as openly and honestly as through our remembrances of our fallen. Now lost 14 members over our almost 21-year history, and unfortunately I didn't have the honor really to serve with most of those people. I was in the U.S. Army, and I have lost several friends to the 2 wars we had going on, and to some of the other plagues that affect veterans. And so it's always hard. It's always hard to reflect and remember their losses. But more importantly, we focus on their lives and the contribution that they've given to us. So I want to thank each of you for coming here today and just joining in remembrance of these fallen brothers of ours, and continuing with this great tradition here in the Cav. So traditionally, a moment of silent reflection is offered so we may be alone in our own thoughts and enjoy our own memories about the brothers and sisters we have lost along the way. I would like you to please join me now for a moment of silence as we remember our fallen. Thank you for your silence and your reflection. Also traditionally, the completion of any military funeral or honorarium memorial ceremony is marked with the playing of the bugle called taps. At this time, I'm going to ask you to please render a salute when ordered to do so, and hold it for the duration of the call, please. Gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony for today. I want to thank each of you personally for taking the time away from your weekend to join us here in honor of our brothers and sisters. I wish to thank our battalion leadership for allowing me and my team the honor of hosting this event. I especially owe a huge debt of gratitude to the volunteers who helped make the event what it is here today. Thank you, and again, thank you all for your respect today.
Thank you guys for for banding together with me and for seeing this through to the end, because if this memorial didn't happen, I would have been very upset. And I really appreciate that we all came together and we all pitched in, and this wasn't just me or Hyman or Sudo or anyone. And it nearly brings me to tears to think that we actually pulled through and did this on our own.
Good work, dude, especially you and Hyman, for sure. Yeah. And honestly, despite the fact that it didn't go as smooth as we practiced, I think the fact that we were all on to practice is the only reason that it worked out. Yeah, we'll call up, boys.
I'm going to move to the Discord Platoon channel if anybody wants to continue the conversation.
Yeah, I'll come hang out.
I'll be
I'm
there
going to play
shortly.
some Outbid or something.